Hola y bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Barnes y presidente de esa mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito San Dieguito. Will the Thrill not with us this morning either. But as we do each and every single morning, whether they are here or not, we properly salute them and each and every one of you out there. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the 27th day of March, 2024. First and foremost, let's get to our title sponsor, Bet Online. It continues to be your number one source for all of your basketball and baseball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. These Bet Online reads, man, I just take on a whole extra meaning with the Otani scandal going on, and I really enjoy them. Anyhow, up to the minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or mobile device. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team. And remember to use the promo code BLEAV, capital BLEAV, for 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online. The game starts here. Also, let's not forget about our proud sponsors over at Verge. That's right. This is lemon, cannabis, honey, all rolled up into one. It is a true shot of life that I like to experience here with you guys every morning. Very soothing on the throat as well. And don't forget to pick up a Let Them Play parenting and coaching guide to use sports. It is now available at ericburns.com, ERICBYRNES.com, as well as on Amazon. So you can grab a book there. When you're at ericburns.com, though, you have a chance not only to pick up the Let Them Play book, but you could also get yourself an F-It list, a Daily Hustle 222, and a Daily Hustle mug. I had mine downstairs. I switched to my Schema mug just so I could keep the coffee hot. And then, of course, the Flippy. This is the most sought-after item that we have right now. It is a smiling stick figure with a double bird raised up to everybody, not in a bad way, Mom. You got to understand that. This is all in good love. It's saying that I'm staying focused. I'm not worried about the naysayers, the haters, the detractors. We don't have time for them, so they can fuck off. But we're going to keep a smile on our face and charge on. That is the meaning of the Flippy. So the Daily Hustle is back. I sent it out this morning. Let's get into it. Buenos dias. Today is Wooden Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. The Daily Hustle quote of the day. Quote, hustle makes up for many a mistake. John Wooden. Daily Hustle translation. While Coach Wooden was playing basketball at Purdue, head coach Piggy Lambert used to remind his players that the doer makes mistakes. He even went so far to say that the team that makes the most mistakes typically wins the game. This was difficult for Coach Wooden to understand, but when he began coaching teams on his own, it was all of a sudden made sense. The players and team willing to take chances and fail in the moment were also the ones who ultimately would grow and develop at an exponential rate. Thus, this free and fearless mentality would inevitably take his squads to new heights, but there was one prerequisite: hustle. When mistakes are made, a bad pass, a bad shot, it's imperative to hustle immediately after and oftentimes that hustle will quickly rectify any mistake that is made. In my short hoops career, there was nothing more rewarding than following an errant shot and quickly grabbing my own rebound and putting it in the hoop. The reward of hustle was not delayed, it was immediate and impactful. Ironically, what I perceived to be the absolute best catch of my baseball career came in Cincinnati after, you guessed it, I made a mistake. I took a dog shit crossover first step, then had to hustle my ass off and launch into the air to pull off a flying over the shoulder Superman snag. Bottom line, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just remember to always hustle after them. EB. P.S. Click pick below or pick up the brand new Let Them Play guide to use Sportsbook and click blue link to join today's live interactive daily hustle only on No Filter Network. All right, look, the premise behind this is pretty simple. The doer makes mistakes. And I could see why Coach Wooden originally would look at that and be like, look, like mistakes are mistakes, and they're not going to help you. But this goes to the concept of Michael Jordan saying, I took 9,000 shots and missed 9,000 shots. It's only through those misses that he was figuring out how to make shots. So it doesn't matter what arena we are in life, whether it's podcasting and coming on here. Look, in order to get this podcast to a level that I'd like to get to, there's plenty of mistakes that are going to happen along the way. The doer makes mistakes, but I'm not going to learn what is the most efficient and effective way to run these shows here on No Filter Network and then to broadcast out to the podcast world, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Caffeine TV, wherever. It does not matter. But by going through this and doing it and understanding what resonates, and then understanding how to best use social with that, essentially these days you got to meet people where they are. So I'll come on here in front of a minimal live audience, but eventually what happens is this gets distributed 15, 17 technically times over. But with that and trying to say have that impact and then eventually make a career out of this, you have to be affecting lives where it's like, man, I got to tune in. This is someone that I want to hear. Same sort of thing with the Deuces Wild with Will Clark. What are we bringing to the table that is going to have the maximum impact, that is going to positively affect anybody who decides to engage? Well, we're only learning this by making one fucking mistake after another. And so, in going through that process, that's how we're going to win. We're going to win because we're going to keep firing. It's the term that they use actually in the gambling world. Keep firing, keep firing. Well, guess what? In life, in order to win, you must keep firing. Okay. Speaking of Shohei, still a lot of unanswered questions. I think the one that Thrill and I talked about last night, along with USA Baseball President John Gall, was that how did Ippei have access to that money in order to make those transfers? How is it that Shohei had no idea that this was going on? Because that was the perception in which he unveiled at the press conference. So there were a lot more questions after the press conference than I think we got answers within the press conference. What Shohei needs to understand, and this is where I really, really hope he didn't fuck up, is that he needs to be forthcoming with everything. So if he was not the gambler, and I actually don't think he was. I mean, maybe it was like, hey, we'll go in on this together or not. I don't know. But let's just say he wasn't the gambler and I've never bet on sports. That part seemed pretty convincing. But the fact that he didn't know that he had $4.5 million fleeced from him right in front of his own eyes. That's the suspect part in all of this. And so by him paying those gambling debts, it actually, I don't think, would get him in any trouble. But you also have to admit it. So I don't know where the stories are going to go from here. There's still so much more to unpack. I talked about it yesterday in the short video, sort of spoof video that I made referencing all of the different betting sponsors that, I mean, not only that we have, but obviously ESPN, MLB, it's one after another. And so the whole concept of the video that I posted on IG was, oh, I can't believe how did we ever get to this point where these guys are laying action? So the problem now, it's not a problem. Look, this goes back years. It is a problem. But this goes back to Arizona State, the point shaving scandal. Like, there's all sorts of history with this. Now, this one is very interesting, though. I think this is a much bigger story than Ohtani because the coincidences that happened between the Raptors' Jonte Porter and the gambling investigation going on is disconcerting, to say the least. The article reads here, it said the rule of thumb about professional basketball players gambling on sports is easy enough to grasp. Quote, I think it's just simple. Just stay away from basketball stuff. Toronto Raptors forward Jordan Nwora said before his team lost 96-88 to Brooklyn Nets on Monday night. And other than that, you're good. That's what we've learned about. Same going on as far back to college. Yes and no. I actually, with athletes these days and everything going on, look, I'd say legalize gambling. Who is the league to tell a grown-ass man what you can and can't do with your money? So if somebody wants to go bet on another sport legally, I get it. I do understand how and why a league would reprimand a player who gambles through an illegal book operation. Look, they're closing books down left and right. And I don't know if the legal gambling world has even come close, and I might be wrong on this, to the illegal gambling world that still continues throughout not only our nation, but the entire world. Porter, all right, just before Monday's game, ESPN reported that Raptors center Jonte Porter was away from the team as he was the subject of a gambling investigation by the league concerning 2 games that Porter left early. Porter's prop bets were the top moneymakers on both nights, according to the DraftKings Sportsbook Insights, published daily and distributed to the media. The Athletic confirmed Porter's made 3-pointers over-under was set at 0.5 for both games, and he didn't attempt a 3 in either game before leaving early. Once for the aggravation of an eye injury and once for an illness, per the team's in-game injury updates. Porter was not with the team for the Raptors game in Washington on Saturday or Monday in Toronto. One need to understand the intricacies of the report to understand that the investigation like this was inevitable given provinces and states continuing to legalize different forms of sports gambling. It's something players have been keenly aware of for years now. Quote, it's crazy. It's part of our sport now. It's something that's on a weird line right now. Raptors swingman Ochai Agababi said. I just butchered that name, but whatever. Quote, I feel like sports betting has always been around, but it hasn't been as popular since ever. So it's becoming more popular. And obviously you're going to have stuff like this. And it's unfortunate, but stuff like this is going to happen, especially when stuff is so close, like sports betting and gambling, and the sport itself is being crossed. You see it everywhere. Raptors swingman Garrett Temple, a vice president of the National Basketball Players Association, was quick to say nothing has been proven and that Porter is still a member of the Raptors and the Players Association will be supported as such. At the end of the day, guys are going to ask when you will go to the barbershop or when you're walking around town. Guys that bet may question who's playing tonight, Temple said. Obviously, that's something that as a veteran Or as a player, you say, I don't know who is playing tonight, man. You've got to come to the game and watch. That's something maybe a PA, we need to just even put more time into educating guys how to navigate those things. The interaction has come under microscope recently as Cleveland Cavaliers head coach J.B. Bickerstaff and Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton have detailed their experiences with those who have wagered on games. That's been a part of it probably for the past 2 or 3 years, and fans slamming you for not hitting their bet. That's an every night thing for every single one of us in this locker room. News broke earlier the week, and the NBA is introducing betting into the streaming of live games on NBA League Pass, allowing viewers to show certain betting lines during a game while watching on their mobile app. Only point spreads, money lines, and over-unders for the total points in a game are being shown currently. The Athletic has a partnership with BetMGM since 2021. I mean, look at this shit. It's fucking everywhere. You can't escape it. And so what's going to happen are things like this. Now, whether Jonte Porter was guilty of not putting up a three-pointer, which was the bet, and then leaving the game early, that would make sense. The issue is, especially in the NBA and MLB, as well as the NFL, you can't fucking pay these guys enough money. There's not enough money that they can win on a singular bet. Jonte Porter can go out and put up 35 points and pull down 20 boards and have 10 assists and make a whole hell of a lot more money doing that on the basketball floor than he could through any illegal book or trying to throw some 3-point prop bet. Now, that said, the issue with a lot of these guys, and I'm not talking about Jonte Porter specifically, but they're fucking stupid. And so their brains can't rationalize that. And if they happen to be in a vulnerable position, they may cave to this. I just read something about the NCAA president talking about not wanting prop bets with individual players in the NCAA. That, my friends, makes a whole shit ton of sense. And the reason being is that it'd be so easy for these guys to throw a prop bet one way or another. Usually it'd be the under on the amount of points that such and such is going to score. So in order to keep that out of the realm of college sports, yes, I totally agree. Get prop bets out of the NCAA, period. Now, when it comes to the NBA, if you're an NBA player, pull your head out of your ass. Like, yeah, there's not an amount these motherfuckers are going to be able to pay you that will be greater than what you could go earn on the floor yourself. I just found that really interesting in the wake of the Shohei Ohtani scandal that continues to make headlines. I don't know what the final answer is here. I really don't with Ohtani. People have asked me, what do you think happened? Fuck, I'd love to tell you. But again, I'll go back to what we said last night. It just doesn't make sense that he could get that money fleeced from him. If I even with my wife who runs everything, if I'm signing anything moving X amount of dollars, let's say it's $25,000 or more, it has to have not only my signature, but I got to go to a notary. Like, that's where the checks and balances come in. So, never too early, by the way, to go ahead and get in on the MLB opening day power rankings. Opening day is officially tomorrow in Major League Baseball. And the power rankings are out right now. And as you may or may not have suspected, the number one team in the land is, drum roll please, the Atlanta Braves. That's right. Everybody probably would have suspected that the Los Angeles Dodgers would be number one, but no. It is the Atlanta Braves on top of the first power ranking before any of these teams have played a fucking game. Although the Dodgers and Padres are both 1-1 after their regular season jaunt in Korea. Yep, number one, the Atlanta Braves. Says as if they needed more firepower, Chris Sale looked dominant this spring. This is somebody that if he is on top of his game, obviously a Cy Young caliber pitcher. Number two, the Los Angeles Dodgers. You might say that wasn't the way they envisioned their spring winding up. Yeah, that's an understatement if I've ever heard it. Number three, the Baltimore Orioles, a new owner, division favorites, the best young core in baseball. Good times. All right. The problem is that people in the AL East that are so dead set on the Yankees, the Red Sox, do not realize that the Baltimore Orioles are the best fucking team in the East. There is reservations everywhere. Now, look, the Yankees and Red Sox are going to be, the Red Sox are, the Yankees will be good. They'll be 500 once again for the 50th straight year. That's still an ongoing record that is really difficult to comprehend. The Yankees have not had a losing season since, I want to say, the 80s. I mean, or going back to the early 90s. It's incredible. But the Toronto Blue Jays are also going to be a team to be reckoned with. The O's, look for the O's and the other teams in the AL East to beat up on the other American League teams in the other divisions. I still do believe that the AL East is the most dominant division in baseball. And it seems like that consistently year in and year out. Number four, the Philadelphia Phillies would help the October cause if they could dispatch the Braves over 6 months and not just 4 games. Yes, but if you have their number in the postseason, that's when it fucking counts. Number five, the Houston Astros. Pitching paucity will be scrutinized with every losing streak. We'll see. I just feel like the Astros keep on winning. And Joey Espada will be fun to see how he does. A former teammate of mine in Midland, Texas. He was our shortstop. It's really good, too. Just a career minor leaguer, then got into coaching, longtime coach for the Yankees. Now the Astros manager. Number six, Toronto Blue Jays. If the blinking red lights surrounding Kevin Gausman and Jordan Romano don't turn into sirens, they're good. Number seven, Wyatt Langford and the Texas Rangers. Wyatt Langford deservedly commanding the hype, but having Evan Carter from the jump is also nice. Number eight, Seattle Mariners. Brian Woo's elbow inflammation means they break with top prospect Emerson Hancock in the rotation. Number nine, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Eduardo Rodriguez's lat strain, not the way they wanted to kick off the pennant defense. Yes, I get it. Eduardo Rodriguez is a very serviceable left-handed pitcher. But breaking news, folks, if you didn't see it last night or this morning, the Arizona Diamondbacks have landed Jordan Montgomery to a 1-year, $25 million contract. So Jordan Montgomery, we talked about it here in the Daily Hustle, was seeking a 7-year deal that would take him to the end of his career. I mean, he's 30-something already. And instead of going for the long-term deal, which apparently was not there, he settles for a 1-year, $25 million contract. Once again, if you want to maximize your value as a player and you continue to produce on the field year in and year out, the absolute best way to go is a 1-year contract. So your opt-out for Jordan Montgomery is, well, It's only a 1-year contract. So that is it. Number 10, the New York Yankees. Can they bully opponents into submission while Garrett Coleman's missing? Garrett Cole will be huge. Giancarlo Stanton has looked good in spring. Juan Soto, I think, is going to be the most valuable player in the American League and is going to absolutely slaughter it in Yankee Stadium. Number 11, you got the Twins. Easy to forget. They still have one of the greatest pitchers in baseball, is Pablo Lopez. Number 12, the Tampa Bay Rays. Richie Palacios gets his first stab at replacing injured right fielder Josh Lowe. Number 13, the San Diego Padres, with expectations lowered. They'll have more fun and probably win more games than last year. I disagree with that. Maybe. I like Schilt. I don't think he's better than Bob Melvin, but I think San Diego's going to do fine. There's going to be a lot of parity, with the exception of the Dodgers, in the NL West, because after the Dodgers, I think the Padres will be competitive, and I know that the San Francisco Giants are going to be competitive. They had their greatest March since Jim Valvano in 1983. Yeah. I mean, look, they did have a good March where they ended up locking in Blake Snell, the reigning Cy Young Award winner. And this is a team that I think just with that one sign alone, look, it's not just one. That was the one that I believe will put them over the top. You got the Korean outfielder, I don't always forget his name, Lee, that is going to be legit. We talked about him last night on Deuces Wild, what Thrill saw when he was there. Not only is he a great bat-to-ball skills dude, but he's got fucking power too. John Gall, president of USA Baseball, says he's kept tracks of him for years, and he is the real deal. So between that and the other moves that made Jordan Hicks being one of them, he slides into the rotation along with Robbie Ray, who's recovering from Tommy John surgery. Hicks, we'll see what we get. He throws 100. I know. I get it. I can't over-champion him until I see him consistently getting outs. That's not easy. And I don't give a fuck how hard you throw, because these days you can't throw a fastball by anybody in Major League Baseball. It's if they're sitting on it and they get it. It's to be a matter of, can he mix his pitches, and can he at least go out there and give the Giants a good quality 5-6 innings every time he takes the ball. Number 16. Actually, you know what? I skipped 14. The Cincinnati Reds. Will Benson. Already fun to watch, a key figure early on as center fielder TJ Friedl mends. And Ellie De La Cruz, let's not forget, still the most exciting player in baseball for the Reds. Giants were 15. Cubs are 16. Third baseman Christopher Morel, kind of a key dude in that cleanup spot. Number 17. The Cleveland Guardians, somewhat abruptly, Miles Straw is out and Tyler Freeman is in center field. Number 18, the Milwaukee Brewers. Devin Williams' absence might enable Abner Uribe to develop into a relief star. Let's not forget the swapping of managers, where Pat Murphy takes over for the Milwaukee Brewers, and then Craig Counsell goes to the Chicago Cubs. David Ross is out. I need to get Ross a no filter, man. And that's, geez. That's been, well, I say way too long. I mean, I don't know why I didn't try to get him on earlier. I know exactly what he's doing other than collecting a paycheck from the Chicago Cubs. But the Cubs paying Counsell a hefty $8 million a year. That is a record contract for a manager. Hey, he's fucking worth it. If you think a manager is worth up to 4 wins and you're paying $2 million a win, there's your numbers. And it's actually way more than that. I bet it's up to like $3-4 million a win now. All right. Number 19, the Boston Red Sox. With Cutter Crawford and Garrett Whitlock's very good springs are the real deal. Things could get very interesting in Boston. Number 20, St. Louis Cardinals. Not as hyped as a year ago, but Jordan Walker's sophomore season will be highly anticipated. I'm excited to see him. I felt like they gave up on him way too early last year, so to see a full season of Jordan Walker should be fun. Number 21, the New York Mets. Yet another seemingly hinging on Starling Marte's health, which is tip top at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm not hinging my season on fucking Starling Marte anymore. Just not going to do it. Hopefully that's not the case for the Mets. Number 22, Detroit Tigers. Casey Mize and Reese Olson win battles for 2 rotation spots. Tigers should be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked to see that team finish right at 500, maybe a little bit above this year. I'm not sure if they're good enough to make a playoff push, but they're in the right division to do so if that is the case. Number 23, the Miami Marlins, after recovering from Tommy John surgery, Max Meyer claims a spot in the rotation. The Pittsburgh Pirates are at 24. They went to Jared Jones and Triolo to open in rotation and second base, respectively. In 25 is the Nationals. Jesse Winker, Eddie Rosario, Joey Gallo, Nick Senzel all cracked the primary lineup. Number 26 is the Angels. Anthony Rendon, leadoff hitter, question mark. Might as well use him while you can. Well, he's still playing baseball before he bails out and does what he really wants to do, which is, I don't know, anything but play baseball, apparently. Number 27, the Kansas City Royals. Despite a spendy offseason, universal projections are low, and they defy them. I like the Royals. That's a scrappy bunch. Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the most exciting players in the game of baseball. Put him right up towards the top with Ellie De La Cruz. Number 28, Chicago White Sox. Garrett Crochet, starter, will be fun to watch. I don't know, Garrett Crochet. 29, Ezekiel Tovar, 7 years, $63.5 million extension, provides certainty at a key position. Look, he's a shortstop. If you look at all the numbers, this might go down as one of the most fucking head-scratching contracts in the history of baseball. 7 years, $63.5 million to a guy with an OPS plus. I want to say it was like in the 70s, maybe low 80s, which is well below league average. I get it. I mean, are you paying for defense? That's just, you could try. I'd rather pay for an established bat and at least know you're going to get that production. Yes, he's a defensive wizard, but to give him that longevity just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then number 30, my Oakland Athletics infielder Dale Harris, Rule 5 pitcher Mitch Spence will make big league debuts soon. So there it is, the power rankings before the season even starts. Let's take a look at the matchups for tomorrow on opening day. Let's see. No, I don't need to go through all this. No, I just want to skip. We need to follow players. Skip. Yeah, let's go. All right. The opening day matchups for Thursday, March 28th. You got Milwaukee at the Mets, the Angels at Baltimore, Atlanta at Philly. That ought to be a fun one. That's 12:05 p.m. Pacific time. How about this one? I mean, Milwaukee and New York Mets are at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You got Washington at Cincinnati. That is the traditional home opener in Cincinnati. I don't know why or how they claim that, but it definitely is known as that. I actually was able to hit a homer in a traditional game, home opener in Cincinnati 1 year against a good buddy of mine, Aaron Harang. San Francisco is in San Diego. That's where they will kick off. It'll be Webb versus Darvish. St. Louis at the Dodgers. Michaelis versus Glasnow. Toronto at Tampa. Berrios versus Eflin. The Twins at Kansas City. It's Lopez against Reagans. Detroit is at the Chicago White Sox. Skubal versus Crochet. The Pittsburgh Pirates are at the Miami Marlins. Keller versus Luzardo. Good for Luzardo getting the opening day start. Former Oakland A. The Yankees are in Houston. That's a great matchup. You got Cortez, Nasty Nestor versus Framber Valdez. The Cubs are in Texas. Another good matchup. We got still some treats here for opening day. That's Steele versus Eovaldi. The Guardians are at the Oakland A's, 707. The question is, how many tickets are the A's going to sell for tomorrow's home opener? It's Bieber versus Wood. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks, the reigning National League champions, are at home against the Colorado Rockies. It will be Kyle Freeland going up against Zach Gallen. That's at 7:10 p.m. Pacific time. And on the West Coast as well will be the Boston Red Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners. It's Bello against Castillo. That's at 7:10 p.m. Pacific time as well. So some good games coming tomorrow. Is that a full slate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games, all 30 teams in action on Thursday. Okay. I got to go pick up my kids from school, but good to be back on the DH. We'll be back tomorrow, at least planning on it. We got to do something for opening day. So I might do a special opening day, Daily Hustle edition. Maybe we're just ripping through games or whatever. Michael, what's up, buddy? Buenos dias to you. John Emmanuel Ramos, Henderson, Makati City. We are international once again, motherfuckers. And, John, we always appreciate you there. You got Barry in Buffalo. What's up, Barry? You got my guy Pat O'Connell out there in Geneseo. Jesse Burns, my brother from another mother. Jesse, out in Wisconsin. What's up, dude? Very pleasant good morning to you. So, all right. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, do us a favor. Leave a review, 5 stars if you're feeling generous, and go ahead and write a review. We greatly appreciate it. Don't be afraid to tell a friend. We record the Daily Hustle live each and every single morning, sometime between 8 a.m. and